part of the reason I love the title of Black Rainbows is to look at that sort of the spectrum of all the different moments in blackness and the different ways of existing in the world as a black person and being a black person, and also, you know, in my own personal perspective as being a black person who has, you know, a black parent and also a white parent, and where do you fit in blackness? You know, sometimes blackness is welcoming you. I think in this country it's a really different thing to how it is in the UK. Mm-hmm. If I lived in South Africa, I would be called, you know, 30 years ago I would have been called coloured, and I wouldn't have been able to be in public with my white mother or my black father. You know, I think the way that we kind of define race and ethnicity is constantly in flux and is a construct. And that interests me as well. You know, who gets to be black, who doesn't? Is Frederick Douglass black? Well, Frederick Douglass is black, but has he got a white father? He says he most likely does have a white father. And, you know, is Bob Marley black? Yeah, but has he got a white parent? Yes. So, you know, and then was Obama seen as black? Was Obama seen as multi-ethnic or biracial? And what is that? What do we do when we make biracial? Do we separate people from their blackness? Do we exclude people from their whiteness? Whiteness is complicated because it's gate kept by colorism. All of it is really fascinating to me. And these questions, you know, you read stuff and you look through books and you see the postcards and the photos and the objects and you see how we don't know. We're people, we're humans, and we're deciding how to think of ourselves. Yeah. And I feel incredibly hopeful that we will recognise the way in which labels are in flux, and the way in which there is a wide spectrum, and the way that our ancestors have already met at various times and various continents. And a person who might identify one way would probably get a surprise if they looked into their ancestry, right? Yeah. Because people have been curious for, you know, hundreds of thousands of years and have travelled the world, and boats have existed and people have walked, and that is, it makes me feel hopeful, because I want to live in a utopic place where we don't distance ourselves from each other because we pray differently to each other, or look different to each other, or eat different food to one another, or have a history that we understand from different perspectives, you know.